Hello there, welcome back guys. Welcome back to a brand new video of Mighty Ghost Tech YouTube channel. So guys, this is the another playlist which I am planning so long. So I will be continuously uploading more video on this playlist only now onwards. So this playlist is all about the coding interview. We will see different challenges which we have to face in the coding interviews only. So here is the first question, which is the most commonly asked in the coding interview round. So the question is, find the average of each subarray of k continuous element. So before we moving to this question, you can see I already written the blog about this question. Now I was planning to make a video to understand the code part in more briefly. So if you wanted to understand this question solution more deeply, you can follow the both video as well as you can visit this blog and you can read the blog. So I will provide this blog link in the description as well. So now let's see the question. What it says, we have to find the average of each subarray. So we will find the average of subarray, and the subarray is could be the continuous element of k, which means the subarray we will pick for the average. The subarray element could be continuous element and those length could be the same, which value is given as the k. Now let's see understand by the example. If I scroll below here, you can see this is the array which is given to us and the k value which is given as a 5. It could be different as per the input, so it could be 2, 5, 6, 10, whatever it could be. Here we have the 5. Now to solve this problem, first approach we will understand. Then I have the another approach, that is the solving by the sliding window approach, that we will see later. Let's see first what things comes into our mind. To resolve this problem, first 5 element we will take, then we will sum these 5 element and divide by the k, which is 5. So the value which we'll get is a 2.2. Similarly, we will get the next 5 element, then sum these all element and divide by the 5. The output we will get the 2.8. So similarly, 2, 6, minus 1, 4, 1, 6, minus 1, 4, 1, 8, and minus 1, 4, 1, 8, 2. By repeating all these steps, we will get the output as a 2.2, 2.8, and so on. So right now we understand the way to solve this problem. Now let's take a look into the coding structure. For that, I would like to open the Visual Code Editor, and here I already provide the solution. Now let me run this first. Alright. So this is the same array with the same element values, and this is the k. Here I return the single function, and to print out the value, this is the consoling the output variable. Now we will more focus on this function only, which have the two parameters, array, which is this list of array, and the k, which is the value. So this result I am taking as the empty array, so that I can push the sum array and divide by the k value, which means I will add the average value, and at the end I will return this whole array. Now let's focus into this for loop. So this for loop is like iterating over the n number of element, which means it will iterate from start to end. So that's why if you see I less than equal to array dot length. Now if you see here I added the minus k. That is just because if you see, if I go to the 1, 3, 2, 6, minus 1, yes, I have the 5 element. Similarly 3, 2, 6, minus 1 till minus 1 I have the 5 continuous array, but after that I don't have any array. If I never add this condition, then you can see more null value. Let me show you that. Yeah, here you can see in the result, so more null value we have get. So in order to resolve this, I will simply add the minus k and simply save this one. So it will simply provide us the non null element. Now after this for loop, this is just a single variable declaration with the 0 value, because initially we will obviously take a 0 value. Now let's understand this inner for loop. So this inner for loop are actually helping us to get the sum of this element and simply divide by the k. So let's see the condition what it does. So initially I is 0, so I am setting j equal to 0. That is fine. Now look at the condition, j less than I plus k. So what it does? So initially we have I as a 0, that is right, plus k, which is 5. So this j will be iterated over the 5 length, and here we are incrementing. So what it does, initially I is 0, then j condition is 0 plus k, which is 5. So 0 and 5. So what it will do? So what it will does? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So it will iterate over this 5 element and simply adding the value of the array inside the sum. And after completing the 5 element condition, I am adding the sum value over the result with the average calculation. Now suppose I is getting 1 by the incrementation. Now here I is assigned to the j, which means j value is 1. Now j less than 1 plus k, which is 6 obviously. Now iteration what will does? J is 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 will get added. And similarly this step will get repeated. So ultimately, whatever average value we are calculating, I am adding in the result and I am returning the result, and which value is getting printed over here. So this is just a common way to resolve the problem. Now the problem with this solution is like we are iterating over n number of element. That is one thing. So here if you see 1, 3, 2, like so on, the values already we are added, and the next iteration we are continuously adding the same value. So to optimize this solution, we have the one technique called as a sliding window. Now let's take a look into the sliding window approach. Now this is the code. Let me run it again. Okay, now this is the same array we have, then the k value which is 5, that is also fine, and here we are simply printing the output, that is also fine. The changes happen over the function only, the logic is getting changed only. Now the logic, before explaining the code what we are doing here, I just wanted to explain the solution was previous is different than this one. Here what we will does, first for loop will iterate again over the n number of element, but inside that for loop we are not going to use another for loop which will not going to repeat the same step. So what logic should be inside of this? So firstly we will add this one with 3, 2, 6, minus 1, 4, 1, 8, 2 continuously. That is not the issue. If you see this one, Windows sum plus equal to array of Windows 8, which means the loop which will iterate over the end of the array, the value which will be added in the Windows sum. So 1, 3, 2, 6, minus 1, 4, 1, 8, 2, all are value getting added over here. But the twist comes here. This is the if condition. What it does, the Windows end is greater than or equal to k minus 1. which means initially we have Windows end as a 0. For first iteration, the array of 0 is 1, which is getting added here, and this condition Windows end 0 is greater than or equal to k, which means 5 minus 1, which is 4. So ultimately is 0 is greater than or equal to 4? Obviously not. So this condition will not execute. So the 1 is getting added inside the Windows sum. Then next iteration, then we have the 1 of Windows end. Is 1 of Windows end is greater than or equal to 4? No, obviously not. Then 3 will get added, which means the value is 4. So similarly this step will repeated until we will get Windows end as a 4. Now consider the 4 as a Windows end. So 4 is greater than or equal k minus 1, which is 5 minus 1, 4. Now this condition is getting true. Now if you see here what we are doing here. So Windows sum, what we have till the 4 index, we have 1, 3, 2, 6 and minus 1, because index of array start with the 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have sum of first 5 element, that value is getting added with the average condition, and which is getting added inside the result. Now after this first step, what we are doing, Windows sum minus or equal array of Windows start, which means for the next iteration we are subtracting the one value, which means the next iteration we will simply focus on the 3, 2, 6, minus 1, 4 only. But till now we have the one value is also added, but that we will subtract. So if you see here, the array of 0, which is 1, is getting subtracted from the Windows sum. And once we done that, we will simply increment this one. So the next time what we have, Windows 8, it should be 5, right? So 5 is greater than or equal to 4. Yes, obviously. So this sum, it could be 3, 2, 6, minus 1 and 4. And average condition is getting added. Now here what will happen for the next iteration, it is looking here also array of Windows start. Now for the previous condition we are incremented. So now Windows start is 1. So array of 1 is right now is 3. So 3 is getting subtracted from the Windows sum. And again it is getting incremented. So Windows start is 2. So for the next iteration we will simply sum up 2, 6, minus 1, minus 1, 4, 1, like so on. So which means first we are concatenating first 5 element. For the next iteration we are concatenating next 5 element by subtracting the previous element. So this is what the sliding window approach is getting used in this solution. And at the end what we will get the array of average list. And lastly we are simply consoling the output. So now I wanted to show you the main comparison between these two main approaches. This is the normal solution we have, and this is the sliding window approach solution we have. Here we are first concatenating first 5 element, then again we are doing the inner loop for concatenating next 5 element. But here in the single loop we are calculating the average. That is called the sliding window approach. So I hope you understand what is the basic main advantages of using the sliding window approach over the normal approach we have. Also I will suggest please check out this blog for more clarity. Also you can, to understand it more clearly, you can watch this video once again. So for this video, this is it guide. We will see you in the next video with a different coding question. Till then, bye.